When you compose, are you frequently aiming at classical models, or do you have later verse in mind, or does it matter?
Both, I think. I mean, yes, sometimes there's a specifically classical model that I'm either getting a little bit from or responding to, not as responses to Ovid and Catullus. Very obviously, there's a classical model, but I'm trying to approach it from a sort of contemporary questioning viewpoint. And in terms of style, yes, sometimes, yes, straightforward, straight down the line, classical model. Right. Sometimes try to do something a little bit different from it. I mean, one of the things on the handout I didn't actually read is there's a metrical experiment in pentameters, this kind of continuous pentameters, which obviously is not done, but I thought, well, why not give it a go? And I thought the pentameters is, anybody wants to do it later, this is page 12. And I think I compared the pentameter to a sort of rather elegant gentleman who's not really good at anything very much except sort of tagging along behind his spouse. It was and that's the idea I just to do that. So that's taking a classical form, something different with it. And of course with the Great War poem with English names inserted into classical verse, well, that again is doing something unclassical but within the classical models. So.
Right. And do you judge individual lines, the success or failure of individual lines by golden age standards, or do you allow other perhaps later standards of composition?
Yes, I mean, sometimes and not necessarily. I mean, certainly, obviously, I'm familiar with some of and take a great interest in Neo-Latin literature. It doesn't mean that I always want to do everything that later writers did. I mean, I think I take a case-by-case attitude to it, actually. If I feel like doing something un-Virgilian, and I think it has a point, I'm very happy to do so. On the other hand, if there's no great point to it, I do quite most of the time like to keep things fairly elegant, just because it distracts a bit. If people are looking at the odd thing that you've done and thinking, oh, he's done that, is that classical? I mean, I don't think one should despise the unclassical. And I think there is a certain tendency, I mean, sometimes among classicists who are looking at later poetry and all they're doing is spotting what they think are the mistakes, which are not mistakes anyway, they're just the way the poetry develops in unclassical directions. But yes, I think it varies on a case-by-case basis, is the answer. Sometimes I'm trying to be a bit deliberately experimental and therefore, obviously, choosing not to do something which I know theoretically ought to be done. At other times I'm sticking within the rules because I see no reason not to be, I hope. So yes, in terms of judging success, not usually exactly by the precise standards of, say, Virgil or Horace or Ovid. Though, I mean, if I'm writing elegiacs, more often than not, I prefer sticking within the sort of Ovidian restrictions of two-syllable word at the end and so on. It varies, obviously, not always, but I think there's often no point in sort of drawing attention to these things by flouting them. So yes, I think most of the time, yes, I would judge success by could Virgil or Ovid have written that on a bad day? If they could, then yeah, I've done pretty well. But yes, equally, not always, and sometimes there's no criterion for success except do I like it and do I think others will like it now? Who cares what Virgil would have thought? So it varies, but thank you, that's a very interesting question.